Peace ladies, welcome back to the Modern Goddess channel. So in this video, I'm going to share with you a few subtle signs that you are not resting in your feminine energy. I get a lot of women that come to me confused and really shocked when they get into a relationship and they learn that they do not harmonize well with a masculine man, because a lot of times they believe that they're already feminine. And a lot of these women believe that because maybe they cook, maybe they like to clean, maybe they like to get their hair and their nails done, they might like to go shopping and things like that. But when it comes to the intrinsic qualities of a feminine woman, a lot of them just do it, not embody that. This is not something that you should only learn about yourself once you're in a relationship. Even if you're single and there are just no men around at all, you should still know whether or not you are able to feel confident in your feminine energy as a woman. Okay, so here are a few signs. I wrote a couple of them down so I could try to just stay on track. Number one, if you have a hard time just being still, if you feel like you constantly have to be on the go, you constantly have to be moving, you always feel like you have to be doing something, and you also feel like you're in a rush a lot of times, that is a sign that you are not being present. That is a sign that you are not centering yourself. That is a sign that you are not allowing yourself to just exist. When you're more in a masculine mode, you feel the urge to consistently be on the go and to do, right? So that is one sign. If you find that when it's time for you to just be still, you feel like you're not being productive, or you start feeling anxious or something because maybe you're starting to experience different emotions while you're just sitting still, that is a sign also that you are just too far in your masculine. It's okay to feel. You need to be able to acknowledge those feelings sometimes. And being productive is not just always doing something. Sometimes resting is productive as well. So give yourself permission to just exist. This applies also when you are invited out somewhere as a guest. If you are invited somewhere and you feel like when you get there, you suddenly have to become like a part of the setup crew, the cleanup crew, you become one of the hosts and you're really just supposed to be the guest, you know, that's another sign. So if you're going somewhere, if you're invited somewhere as a guest, go and just allow someone to do something for you for a change. Allow yourself to be treated. You don't always have to be the one that's in charge or doing something, or always feel like you have to be so involved or hands-on. Just be. It's okay. Number two, if you feel like you need to solve everyone's problems, if people come to you to vent and they just want some emotional support, but instead you try to tell them what they can do to make the situation better, then that is a sign that you are too far in your masculine energy. It is okay to want to help the people that you love get over whatever it is they're dealing with. However, instead of feeling like you have to fix things, solve things, and put on your superwoman cape and come to everyone else's rescue, allow yourself to help through the emotional aspect, help through affection, help through compassion, help through empathy, help through those ways. Those are some of the things that people need and just are not getting nowadays. Sometimes if you just allow yourself to listen without asserting your input, people are able to come up with their own solutions, right? So don't always feel like you need to fix everyone's problems. Number three, if you have a hard time receiving, and that is receiving anything. If somebody tries to pay for something for you, if someone gives you a compliment, if someone tries to give you some constructive feedback, if someone wants to just assist you in something and you just always find a way to turn it down, you always find a way to say, oh no, it's okay, you don't have to do it, oh no, it's okay, I'm fine. If you just are the type of woman that for some reason you have a hard time accepting what others are trying to offer you or provide for you, that is a sign you're too far in your masculine energy. Some women do this because they are afraid that someone's going to believe that they owe them that later on. Some women are afraid to do that because they think that people are going to believe that they're needy. And some women, that you just feel uncomfortable when it comes to accepting, because you're used to being in the position where you're the one that's giving all the time. You're used to being the generous one. You're used to being the thoughtful one. You're used to saying, here, let me pay for this for you, or let me do this for you, or let me help you. But when you have a hard time just allowing someone to do something for you, That is a sign that you are really not resting in your feminine energy. Receptivity is one of the most beautiful traits of being a feminine woman, because it allows you to really receive, and it allows you to receive without having to do a lot of extra work. And that is one of the things that a lot of masculine women can't wrap their mind around, is that they feel like in order for me to feel comfortable with accepting things, I have to earn it by doing. And that is not the reality of a feminine woman. You don't always have to go, do to receive. People just naturally want to do things for you based off of your presence alone, based off of the energy that you give off, based off how you transform atmospheres, based off of how you make them feel, based off of the feminine value you bring into people's lives. That is why they want to do things for you. That is why they want to make your life easier. It's not about how much money you make. It is not about how hard you work or anything like that. Number 4, if all of your goals are based on survival. So ask yourself this question: if you were to accomplish and achieve every goal that you are currently working towards, if you achieved all of them by tomorrow, would you be happy? Would you be fulfilled? Would all of your desires and needs be met? If you're more masculine, the answer is probably going to be no. Because women who are overly masculine and that are not resting in their femininity, their goals don't have anything to do with their desires, fulfillment, joy, happiness, peace. Their goals have everything to do with status, money, education, just survival in general. There is a difference between being goal-oriented and being desire-driven. And when you are desire-driven, the things that you are working towards, at the end of the day, you will find fulfillment within those things. And what happens often is that a lot of women will chase their goals and they'll accomplish them and they'll still feel miserable. They won't understand why there's still a void in their life. They won't understand why they're not happy after following all the rules and doing everything that they're supposed to do. And it's because your goals are based on survival. Your goals are masculine. Number 5, if you find that you are a little bit more serious than the other women around you, if you find that when people say things, even in a joking way, you take offense to it a lot, if you find that you can't just allow yourself to just play and have fun, right? When everyone else is enjoying themselves and people are running around and listening to music and dancing, you're just sitting there observing and monitoring everyone else. If you have a hard time being lighthearted, having that easygoing, free-flowing energy, everything about your life is very routine, very strict, you don't have any type of spontaneity in your life at all, it's just, this is what we got to do, and everything is just based off of obligation and responsibility. Nothing in your life has anything to do with enjoyment, playfulness, just having fun, actually enjoying life versus just surviving it. You know, that is a sign that you are operating too far in your masculine energy. Again, when you are more in your feminine, you are allowing yourself to tap into that inner child every once in a while. You're allowing yourself to play, to laugh, to dance, to flirt, to just have fun. And so that is a sign. If you just find that you tend to be very serious and stiff often, you're not resting in your feminine energy. Number 6, you find that you become highly irritable and impatient whenever you are not in control. When someone else has the say so, when someone else is the one that's planning everything, when someone else already has a schedule set and maybe you don't agree with it because you think things should go a different way, or when things aren't happening the way you want it to happen or when you want it to happen, when you're just not in control and you find yourself just getting very upset in those moments, that's a sign that you are not resting in your femininity. When you're in your feminine, you have the ability to just surrender, release the need to be in control, and just allow things to flow as they may. When you are more masculine, you feel like you have to be the one that calls all the shots, that gives the demands, that delegates the tasks, that enforces the rules. You feel like you have to have some type of say-so in everything. It is okay to not be the one that's in control all the time. And some of you know what that position is like, being the one that's in control, and you know how much stress comes with that position. You know how burdening that can be. You know how much resistance you face from others when you're in that position, when other people are relying on you to make the tough decisions, to solve the tough problems and things like that. And so many of you are really fighting to remain in a position that you don't even enjoy being in yourself, but you're just so afraid of what might happen when you're not the one that's in control. That shows also that there is a lack of faith, there is a lack of trust, and so that is something that you would definitely want to work on if you want to become more feminine. Number 7, if you are at a loss for words whenever it's time for you to express yourself in a loving way, or whenever it's time for you to respond to what you heard someone say as it relates to their emotions or their feelings, when it comes to being empathetic, you just struggle to find the right words to express yourself. You have a hard time putting names to your emotions. You have a hard time being able to understand what someone else is feeling when they are telling you that they have a concern or a problem with something you said or did. But when it comes to just being upset or arguing or being in a debate, you got words for days, right? That is a sign that you are too far in your masculine energy and you are not allowing yourself to rest in your femininity. You are completely out of touch with the compassionate, affectionate, empathetic side of yourself. Number 8, if you just neglect self-care altogether. I know a lot of women believe that when you are self-sacrificing and you just put everyone else's needs before your own, that's a sign that you are feminine. Quite the contrary, it puts you in a position to where you're doing a whole lot of things that are just now tasks and duties to you. You're not doing it from a nurturing place. You're not doing it because you care about the well-being of someone else. You're not doing it out of love. You're not doing it out of concern. You're doing it because you feel like you simply have to do it. And that is when you're operating from a more masculine energy. That is where that discipline comes in, when you just do what you got to do even if you don't feel like doing it. That's when you're challenging yourself. And that can help in other areas, again, but that requires more masculine energy. But when you're more in your feminine energy, you're able to pour into others based off of the fact that you have plenty to pour because you have been pouring into yourself. You have been taking care of your needs and your desires. Feminine women honor their desires. So that is not just getting your hair and nails done. That's nurturing yourself spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, and not just your physical appearance, but your physical health as well. Okay, socially, environmentally, your home, right? You're pampering yourself. You're really taking care of you. When you completely neglect everything that you need to take care of for yourself, then everything that you do for someone else is going to feel very draining. You're going to feel depleted. You're probably not going to feel very appreciated. It's going to feel one-sided. And that is one of the keys to being more feminine and to embodying any of the feminine traits, really, is to take care of yourself and really pour into you. Because if not, you're going to end up pushing out a lot of stuff and you're going to walk around passive aggressive and you're going to build resentment towards whoever it is you're doing all this stuff for eventually. And lastly, number 9, if you listen with the intent to defend, to debunk, to debate, to discredit, if that is what you're doing the whole time you're listening to someone speak, you're pointing out what you disagree with, you're pointing out what they said that was wrong, you're pointing out what it is you feel you want to correct, you're just waiting for your chance to respond so that you can tell them about themselves, that you can correct them or what have you, that is a sign that you are operating from a masculine energy. Those of you with masculine men know how frustrating or just simply how unsettling it can be and how uncomfortable it can be when you're trying to have a conversation with someone and they're listening with masculine ears, meaning the whole time they're listening, they're searching for what they would say is the truth, when really they're searching for things that are going to credit them and discredit you. They want to debate, they want to challenge you. It's just part of the masculine energy. So when you are doing that, when you're the one that's listening with the intent to defend yourself, you're listening with the intent to shut the other person down, you're listening to with the intent to just point out everything they said that is incorrect and that you want to correct, that shows that you are not resting in your feminine energy. You are not being receptive. You are not being understanding. You're not being compassionate. You're not being caring. You just want to argue, right? And so these are a few subtle signs. Again, it really doesn't make a difference whether you're in a relationship or not. You can be single and still experience some of these things that I just went over. So make sure that you are working on feminine embodiment now, regardless of your marital status, so you won't be shocked later on when you find out you're having issues bringing that harmony and balance into your relationship with a man that's more masculine, because you're going to have power struggles, you're going to butt heads. All right, peace, much love, ladies.